No, this is Homer's move. Like, comment, and subscribe. So listen, I'm not I'm gonna start this off with a huge disclaimer. I'm not a medical expert. I'm just gonna talk about objectively, just just objectively speaking, like vaccine hesitancy and like where it was before and where it is now. Because I feel like consistently, like the goalpost is moving consistently. It never just it's never stayed the same place. It's like, oh, it's not FDA approved. Oh, it's not mRNA is, saying it'll mess with your DNA or something like that. And I'm just like, okay, let's take each stance and like break them down because at this point it's like the FDA has approved one, the Pfizer vaccine, 2-shot mRNA vaccine. They've approved them. Moderna's going to get approved right around the corner. J&J is going to be right after them. DOD has just like instituted policy. They said, yo, everybody, you're getting a shot in Mando. So we're going to see what happens with that. I don't care. I got the shot already. At the end of the day, like Goldman Sachs said that at customers, you can't even come in as a customer, anymore unless you're vaccinated, which is kind of wild. But Goldman Sachs, they deal with the type of money that neither you watching nor I even deal with. So who cares? You know what I'm saying? Who cares about them doing that? The main thing is like we all knew this day was coming. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing with like chickenpox. Like what you either have to get chickenpox or you get a shot for chickenpox. That's it. Them your two options when it comes to getting the shot. Now, you know what? I'll start all the way back. First hesitancy moment was people were like, excuse me, they were like, oh my God, they did this too fast. No, they didn't actually do this that fast. It wasn't, I mean, it is record setting time, but at the same time, they were working on a vaccine for SARS when it came out. The SARS, through mitigation efforts and all that, and it not being as contagious, they were able to contain it. And they were already starting work on the vaccine, and they kind of just kept working on it quietly in the background. Somebody kept working on it, and they were like pretty close. And then what happened was, oh my God, it's a global pandemic. Well, the global community got together, started sharing notes, sharing information, and you'll be surprised what happens when you get the smartest people, the smartest of smart people together in a room, and they have a common goal and objective, and they're working together objectively. And they got together. Everybody came out with their versions of the vaccine, and now we have all these vaccines that work. And people are like, "Oh, well, it doesn't work because I still carry the virus and I can pass it off to somebody else." But did you get sick though? Like, that's the thing. Like, did you get sick though? Now granted, there's gonna be some people. You're gonna do your little one-off spiel. You're gonna say, "Oh well, like all these people they get sick or whatever." There's some certain groups of people they were just destined to get sick regardless. All the vaccine did was like mitigate some of the things that you were going to experience. That's a flat out. It just mitigated some things you were going to experience. Like, for instance, if you're immunocompromised, no matter what happens, you're probably going to end up getting sick. Just period. Flat out. Whether it's COVID or something else, you're going to end up getting sick. You're immunocompromised. That's what that means. It's flat out. If you are, if you're predisposition, like you already have high blood pressure, diabetes, you know what I'm saying? The normal things, you already have cancer, you already have things, asthma, you have things that make you predisposed to already being in the hospital. That's one of those things that is what it is. Those people you can't do anything about. You can't do anything about them. Those were flat out. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be that segment of the population that ends up getting sick. What you have here is you have essentially what is like super healthy people dropping like flies, just dying. And that's absolutely crazy. Like to see healthy people with tubes down the throat, even if you don't die, right, and you recover, but you had these tubes and stuff down your throat. That is insane, bro. That is insane. Like actual like athletes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like people in the peak condition. You got tubes down your throat. That's kind of crazy. Does it happen to everybody? No. It's everybody in the no. But at the same time, if you don't, we're going to end up in a situation where we are now. Where you have the virus replicating at a pace that is not good. Because our whole society globally is like capitalist, right? Everybody wants to make money. So what they do is they reopen society with the expectation that everybody's going to get vaccinated. It didn't happen because, a lot of people were saying the things of, which brings to vaccine hesitancy. Point number 2, it's not FDA approved. Well, now one of them is FDA approved, but at the same time with FDA approval, vitamins aren't FDA approved. That protein supplement you love, that's not FDA approved. There's a lot of things you take over the counter that are not FDA approved. You know what I'm saying? They just passed a general like safety level. What's up? Vaccines contain mercury, formaldehyde. Sorry. Ma'am. I no. The actual ingredients in this vaccine are public information. It doesn't even have aborted fetus tissue from hamsters. Like you can read the medical stuff. It's just like there. It's available for you to read. Like, hold on. Since you're here, hold on. Since you're here, I'm going to. Whoa. I'm going to. Let's see what's going on here. Seeing components. Okay, so bits, salt, sugars, basic sugars. The remaining ingredients are acid. So okay. I'm just trying to find the complete table of for each of these. Okay. So what is that? That's J&J. What is this? This J&J's? Okay, that's J&J. First one. AstraZeneca vaccine uses HM vector. I'm you got the so I'll go to their website. But right now I'm talking about, let's see, who is it? So Pfizer's has, here we go. So Pfizer's has mRNA, so messenger ribonucleic acid. Then it has lipids, and then it has hydro. I can't even say these. So it has, and then it has hexadecanoate, polyethylene. Like I know what this stuff is, like molecularly. I can't say that. And it has deuterated, and then cholesterols, and then it has salts, which it has potassium chloride, monobasic potassium phosphate, sodium chloride, and divested sodium phosphate dihydrate. And then it has basic table sugar, basically known as the sucrose. And then Moderna's is let's see, it has mRNA lipids again, and it has SM-102. It has 1 or 2 cholesterol, whatever, glycosol, cholesterol. Then it has acetic acid, dimethamine, tromethamine, hydrochloride, sodium isotate, isotate. How do you say that? Anyway, and then sucrose, and then Johnson and Johnson, which is a replicant. It uses a recombinant replication incompetent adenovirus type 26 expressing the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein, modified and harmless version of the virus, of a different harmless version of a different virus. And then that does citric acid, monohydrate, trisodium citrate, dihydrate, and then it has sugars, which are hydropromylene chlordexin, and then it has polysobate and sodium chloride, and then it has ethanol. That's it for those. Now I'm going to move on to, you said AstraZeneca. Let's see. AstraZeneca. Vaccine ingredients. All right, cool. So let's hit this. Hold on. You said their official website. What in the world is the name? Where's AstraZeneca? AstraZeneca. Okay, cool. Is that? I'm trying to find the components that you said it was on their website. Vaccine. You got the link for that? You got the link? You can drop the link for that? If you put it in the chat, it'll pop up for me where I can pull it. Let's see real quick. I really want to see the chimpanzee thing. Okay. AstraZeneca. Who's using AstraZeneca? The UK? Yeah, I'm looking for what you're saying and I'm not finding it. See. Chimpanzee. I don't see a chimpanzee. Oh, I found it. Okay. So it says one dose. Recombinant replication deficient chimpanzee and the virus factor. The vaccine encoding SARS-2 spike protein using material originally sourced from a human embryo. Is this? That looks like it's AstraZeneca. Looks like it's AstraZeneca. Is this their official website? Yo, that's kind of wild. Hey, I'll give it to you. That AstraZeneca being in like a chimpanzee vector or whatever sounds kind of wild. But when I realized the fact that they do animal testing for almost everything that you use, including like whether or not you use makeup, whether or not you use like cologne, like everything, almost everything, like has animal testing. You know what I'm saying? Which makes living unethical by and large, makes it unethical if you're an animal lover. Um, so I'm not like that doesn't bother me, and I don't even think America's really offering AstraZeneca. I feel like that's like the UK and like overseas. And if I had the option to get something else, I would, because that's kind of again, it's a little disturbing. It's a little disturbing to say the least. It's not like, oh my god, like I wouldn't get it. It's just I would find a different vaccine, because everybody else managed to do it without chimpanzees. I wonder why you had to go the route of getting chimpanzees when I heard there was a lot of volunteers, but I think everybody else got the volunteers, not them. But I wanted to say that to say like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm Gloria. I just want to say I am giving you this. This is factual. This is factual. That is a direct quote. I found it. That is a quote. Um, so I'm conceding that ground. You have that. You have that. The AstraZeneca chimpanzees. Um, however, big however, um, big but. I just I still feel like personally for me talking to experts. I'm talking about like actual like chemists, immunologists, science people, people that you studied this. That's their life. That's like that's like me walking. That's like me walking onto an airfield and arguing with, you know what I'm saying, the pilot about flying the plane. I don't know nothing about flying planes. Heck, I could go into the engineering, to the mechanic, you know what I'm saying, to the engineers, to the mechanics, and I can't have no argument with them. Why? Because they're specialized and they're trained. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't really argue with plumbers. You go get a second opinion. You know, and I think what happened with the vaccine is a lot of people went and went to doctors. A lot of doctors were like, get it, get it, get it. You know what I'm saying? And they kept going to get second opinions to where it was not second, but third, fourth, fifth, sixth opinions. So they found a doctor that disagreed. And they were like, oh my God, this is my guy. This is my doctor. This is the correct information. But I just find it hard to go against the grain when you have so many people, so many experts saying, yo, please get vaccinated. Like, it's a lot of them. It's a whole lot of them. Like, I'm not talking about like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen the people on social media. Social media is great about sharing the people that disagree and making them the loudest voice. The most of the people online is that you see and you hear from are the vocal minority. Most people are just going through their day and ignoring stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then you have that I want to fight back against the vocal minority, and they're like and even less of a minority that actually care and try and like spreading good information. Um, but I said all that to say that um, you, to read the medical studies yourself, to go to the medical study that's published yourself and just read it. It's a boring read. I'm gonna give it to you. It's a boring read. That it's more than like most of those papers are like really long. I don't even remember like the page limit, the page amount that the last one that I read had, but it was enough for me to go, all right, cool. These guys, they went through trial period. Like you can see they're talking about the results from this trial, this phase. They're talking about the results. They're talking about blah, 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 blah. This is what happened. This is what happened in this case. These are how many people experienced pain, arm pain, fatigue. These are the people that got the chills. These are how many people got fever out of the group, and then you have your control group with the placebo. Excuse me. And I just feel like for myself, like I like reading information for myself, and there's nothing that I read for myself that made me go, okay, I'm not going to do this. I can't. I can't follow. This is gonna. I'm gonna say this how it is, and if you don't like me for it, whatever. I'm not following the opinion of nobody that I know struggled in biology, struggled in science on this. Like you struggled in biology, you struggled in science. I know you from school. I know you from wherever. I know this is not your strong suit. Why would I listen to you about this? That's like listening to somebody that I know struggles to pay bills about financial literacy. Like, yeah, the broken clock might be right 2 or 3 times a day, but come on, come on. Like, if I want financial literacy training and stuff, I'm gonna go find a financial expert. Go talk to an accountant. You know what I'm saying? Like talk to an actual like if I have a problem with taxes, I'm talking to an accountant. I'm talking to an actual like tax person, tax specialist. You know what I'm saying? Heck, even though it's not their field of expertise, I'll go talk to a lawyer before I go talk to just Joe Smo that's doing taxes out the back of the crib. You know what I'm saying? No license. You know what I'm saying? Accountant, lawyer. You know what I'm saying? People that they've been trained to read the law, so the law has the tax codes in it, so they have a general understanding. The accountant, you know what I'm saying, has a general understanding of the tax code and like the math portion and how it actually like works. You know what I'm saying? The lawyer might not be able to give you the math, break the numbers down, but they're gonna get you let you know whether what you trying to claim is right or wrong. The accountant can break down the numbers part of it. And I think in this case, a lot of people, they're not even talking to experts at all. They're not talking to anybody. They're just finding whoever can agree with them. And a lot of it is social media's fault because the algorithm is set up to pigeonhole you into a system where you are around like-minded individuals and you're seeing things that you want to see and you're seeing things that hopefully make you happy so you stay on the app longer so they can feed you more ads. That's literally what it's set up to do. It's set up so they can feed you more ads and they can feed you more posts. You know what I'm saying? They'll feed you some posts and they'll feed you more ads to kind of, you know what I'm saying, like get you into a space and sphere where you think that what you're thinking is right because you're with all the same people. But when you step outside of that and you understand like how social media works and did it hold on, did it mess up my mic? Did my mic go into the wrong thing? Oh no, it's fine, it didn't disconnect. So it puts you in the spirit and the mindset where, you know what I'm saying, you're thinking like everybody's agreeing with you, when in actuality, if you step outside that sphere, even the tweet that, even if you're on Twitter, right, and you see a tweet and it has, I don't know, let's say 20K retweets, 74K likes, right? This sounds crazy. It's viral, right? just because you don't know the intent behind some people retweeting it and quote tweeting it. Some people are doing it. So, hey, look at this stupid person. Hey, some people are laughing at it. Then you have some people, you know what I'm saying? They are actually agreeing, you know. Does you know what I'm saying? Like none of that actually validates that claim. None of it. Even if you go down into the comments and there's people commenting, you know what I'm saying, whether like true fact or not, whatever they're doing a little argument social media wise, none of that actually like validates or disclaims anything in most scenarios. Um, but I feel like if people actually took the time to step outside their social sphere that they're stuck in due to the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna blame it all. I'm not gonna put the whole earnest on people. Social media has had this problem for a while, and it's just progressively getting worse, where people are allowed to toxic spiral into different ideologies that make absolutely no sense. Um, like I get it. Like what you feel, and why you feel hesitant. However, does that make your hesitancy valid because you feel it? No, no, it doesn't. It doesn't make it valid. It doesn't make it valid. Um, I would really beseech everyone to do your research, like outside of your normal, like, and not try and find like one or two things to like kind of say, ha, I don't need to do this, like, because there's, you know what I'm saying, there's chimpanzees or whatever, you know what I'm saying, because not all vaccines contain mercury. I literally just read off the thing, so the other thing, but I feel like so how come many vaccine people are dying from organ failure? No, they're not. They're not. They're not. And if there is someone that happened to be vaccinated that died from organ failure, I guarantee you there was something else going on in their lifestyle that resulted in them having organ failure and dying. It was not they got a shot. Therefore, like it's not a one-to-one, it's not a cause and effect relationship. There is a correlation, but correlation does not indicate fact. Correlation does not indicate truth. Correlation just means these two things happen to happen at the same time. That does not make it fact. Does not make it true. Okay, that doesn't make it truth. Okay, if I walk outside, and I get, let's say I walk outside and I get shot, does that mean that the neighborhood that I'm living in is a bad neighborhood necessarily? No, because why did I get shot? You have to investigate like what caused this to actually happen, the causation of it. Because that could have been the first, you know what I'm saying, shooting death in years in that community. That communities hasn't had a shooting death in over 50 years, you know? So it's a good community. It just so happened I maybe attracted the wrong crowd, or I was perceived to be somebody that I wasn't. There's not a direct correlation to bad neighborhood and me getting shot. Just like old organ failure, there's not a correlation between organ failure and someone receiving the COVID vaccine. They're not one and the same. They're not something that goes together. It's not a correlation. Anyway, let me put up this comment so people can see what I'm responding to. This is what I'm responding to. I'm responding to Steve. But yeah, there's no direct causation. Just to put that out there with that stuff. Because most of the people, like vast majority of people, that are in the ICU right now are unvaccinated. Like I believe somebody said it was like 98%. Again, the other 2% is you're gonna have people that were just predisposed to being like almost dying from COVID regardless. They probably would have died if they weren't vaccinated. The vaccinated people that are there, because you had some pre-existing condition or some or something wrong with you to where it puts you in a vulnerable state. Because the people that are dying from COVID, tradition like unvaccinated, I mean vaccinated wise, are people that were already predisposed for by and large. Can you find one or two things that make it seem like, yeah, whatever, make it seem like that there's a direct, like oh, the vaccine made that person vulnerable, that person's never been sick before, blah 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 blah, but you don't know if they didn't get the vaccine, if they would have died from COVID either. Like, you don't know that. You don't know what was really there. Like their genetic history, their genetic predisposition to viruses. um does anybody have any other comments or anything else they want to say? Because I'm here. I'm here. I got another like 30. Another like 30, 40 minutes. Um, yeah, because I just real deal like want to know what else was in this freaking title of this video. Okay, and goalpost moving. Yeah, the goalpost moving part is basically where people were like, oh, well, if it's FDA approved, then I'll get the vaccine. Oh, it's FDA approved, but they only did that because they want me to take the vaccine. You should have done a trending topics as well. Bro, I sent you the. No, I didn't send you the link to this. Bro, hop in, bro. I'm gonna send you the link for this. I'm gonna send you the link for this. Hold on. Hop in. Yes, hop in. Hold on. Let me send you. Let me send you the link. All right, cool. Okay. All right, cool. I just sent you the link. I just sent you the link so you can hop in. I just sent you the link. Yeah. But anyway, like, I'm just real deal. Okay, let me put the chicken. He said put the chicken in the oven. You don't want to know why I didn't do a trending topics? I didn't do a trending topic because all the trending topics are Afghanistan, Biden failed, something else. Like, it's all stuff I'm like trying to stay clear away from. Clear away from. Clear away from. Clear away from. And the only reason I'm staying away from that stuff is because I have an actual like personal attachment to those things that are going on, and I'm not commenting on those because those topics make me feel away. They easily make me feel. Ooh, there we go. This might actually work. Let me get this real quick. My laptop is about to die. Move this over. Move this over here. Put that there. Okay, cool. All right. So who's here? Who's left with me? What? Let me screw this on. There we go. All right. So yes, I want to know, like, what else makes you guys hesitant? I want to understand this. I want to know. Like, is okay, like, you saying you will survive, that's fine. Like, are you okay with the people that in your circle that might not? Like, are you okay with that? Like, because I was thinking, I partially, like, I have little to no concern over my own well-being most times, but I am a bleeder. I am a bleeding heart to care about other people and go, okay, do I want to be the guy that passed that off to somebody else? Passed off that death? No, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy at all. So I get vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody's like death on my conscience. I don't sleep good. I would not sleep good at night. Most of the time, I sleep really good at night, but that would not. I wouldn't be able to sleep good at night. And why in the world? But yeah, y'all let me know. Like, what else y'all are thinking? Let me think. What else is going on here? But yeah, like just go, just go get vaccinated, man. At this point, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. You've already been doped up with a bunch of shots already. Like when you're a kid, they hooked you up with a concoction, a cocktail, and a lot of people say, "Oh, those are linked to autism," or "Oh, this or whatever, it damages your." They were like, "What was the crazy thing they said?" They're like, "Oh, it messes up your ability, like your fertility and your ability to like have someone be get pregnant or whatever." Oh, yo, what's up, bro?
Hey, how's it going?
How can I not? Why can I not minimize this logo? This drives me. Like I think I'll have to manually shrink
There
it.
you go. I'll
So
do
then when it,
that.
oh,
There you go. I'm
yo,
here.
what's good, bro?
Nothing much, Got off work late, cooking. That's it. Cooking some food real fast.
Got the chicken in the oven.
Yeah. So,
So, so what have you noticed, like with vaccine hesitancy? What have you noticed?
the vaccine. I mean, I think. I don't know. I think we've always had, as of late, we've always had anti-vaxxers. Um,
Mhm.
I do understand the apprehension of the speed this happened, because this is the first time for an event that a lot of people have seen where a
Mhm.
vaccine kind of been developed from start to end. And since a lot of
Mhm.
people don't know about the process, and they haven't seen it,
Right.
and all they could compare it to is the last time we had a mass vaccine, which was over 20 years ago, about how long that it's taken. Um,
Mhm.
so, and then with the fear of COVID and how it's unknown,
Mhm.
especially in the early days, and it carries a lot of that stigma still to this day. People are apprehensive against it. So it seems to be, um, I want to say, I think it seems to be around 60-40 pro vaccine, 60 for vaccine, 40 against vaccine. Um,
Yeah.
and we'll see how it goes. I mean, there's people, and everybody has their reasons, and even up to people being, lazy.
Mhm.
And I think the thing is, they feel like the vaccine's been it's being forced upon them. And my thing is that every major vaccine
Has
has
been.
been forced upon you. You just haven't realized it. And the thing is, too, it's like no one's forcing you to get the vaccine. But if you don't get the vaccine, then you have to, you know, you have to live with the consequences of actions. And
Mhm.
if they say, hey, you can't go to certain events, you can't go to certain places, and it's always been that way. Like, because like for us to go to public school, you have to be vaccinated,
Mhm.
with the major vaccines. If you go into the military, or the military, certain jobs require certain vaccines, and there was ways for them to check against them. So the thing is, like, oh, you get a job, right? Well, we have
Mhm.
to see certain jobs that say, at a high school, you know you have to have a diploma, not a GED. The reason for that is because, hey, if you go to a public high school and you have a diploma, guess what? That's your vaccination record for the
Mhm.
main vaccines that we have to see. And that's what people haven't seen or noticed before. And um and I mean, that's like the main thing. So, like, yeah, it's like the the vaccine is not being forced upon you, kind of the way you think, because no one's saying that you have to get the vaccine unless you're in a career field that's making you get the vaccine. And still, even then, you don't have to get the vaccine unless you're really in the military, which you signed up for with 18 vaccines you have to take anyway. But besides that, it's like, no, if you don't want the vaccine, the repercussion is, hey,
I
I have to quit my job. So that you just have to deal with the consequences, unfortunately.
Right. I'm curious as to how many people like, because my thing is, because I was having a conversation with the guest that we're gonna have on Sunday, Michelle. I was having this conversation with her, and I was like, I'm curious as to how many people like really, really like are gonna live by their convictions, like are gonna live and die by their convictions. Like, are you willing to give up your job, your position? You know what I'm saying? Like, go broke,
Um,
go broke for your beliefs. Like, how deep is it for you? That,
um,
that's what I want to know about these people, because I'm like, I want to see you give up your job. I want to see it. I want to see it.
um,
I don't think you really believe what you're saying.
oh, I mean, we'll see. I mean, sorry, I just dropped something, so I'm like
No,
trying
no,
to
you're
catch
good. You're good.
it.
And that's across the board. Like people that work at Goldman Sachs now, people that work at what is that? Pretty much every major corporation is like mandate. You're getting it because they're tired of paying. Or I seen the alternative was, okay, you're not gonna get it, cool, but you're gonna pay this increased insurance premium because they're gonna charge us for you not being vaccinated, and we're not paying for it.
Like I said, I think it depends like on the job. I know for certain jobs, like if you don't deal with the public, I can understand why. But the problem is like people they like to take advantage of the system. So before when this came out and we were trying to be like, hey, be safe, whatever. Especially when we couldn't check for it, people were like, oh, and I know in the beginning at my job, it's like, oh, I might have COVID. I might
Mhm.
be in contact with somebody. I might do this. I might do that. And it was kind of like them getting free time off all the time.
Mhm.
And that's something that takes people on the way. And now that we're moving back into in work, working back like into like our community settings, whether it's for the better or not, because that's something to be said as well too. I think sometimes it's like, these people, they have these buildings already that they're already buying, leasing, whatever. So they're like, hey, we have to use them. So we're putting people back into our buildings. Um, so, and that's the thing. It's like, and if they're making certain sections saying, hey, we don't want to get our customer base sick. We don't want to get our employees sick. So
Mhm.
this is why we are requiring it. Because the thing is too, it's like, even if, and this is the thing too, it's like right now they really can't fire you because of COVID. You can't get
Mhm.
fired if you keep on getting sick. Right.
Mhm.
Um, but but the thing is too, yeah. So if you're off, they don't have to pay you.
Mhm.
But guess what? If you're still on the books, they can't put someone else in your spot. So it's still costing them that customer service. That customer service.
Right.
And now because people getting back to work, like a lot of places, they had to raise their rates to get people back to the door to working too. So
Which
now
is
certain
good.
employees,
Which is
they're
good.
yeah, they're paying more money for it. So now they're like, hey, guess what? If I'm paying more money, you need to do X, Y, and Z. And I totally get that. So I mean, it's one of the things where we're just like, hey, but
Everybody and their mom called me back once I was live.
mm.
Everybody called me back once I was like I'm looking at my phone. Like I think I called back by like 3 people, and I'm like, yo, that's funny. Like nobody would answer the phone, and then now everybody's like, hey, and I'm like, I'm live now.
Because you're a very, very important person, man. Everybody wants to get a hold of Smooth.
Oh
And
nah,
man, I can't believe I just broke my model right now. I'm really, really upset.
you broke it. You knocked it
Well,
off.
I mean, it came apart because I dropped it, so the first part of it came
Mm,
across. But I mean, that's just my stance, like on the vaccine. I mean, it's nothing really new.
mhm,
But the problem is that and there's so much
I
misinformation and
think,
there's people's beliefs and everything.
mhm,
So and yeah, part of it's control, and I think that's the thing I kind of don't like about it too. But it's like if you can't trust people to do the right thing, and right now it's wearing a mask. And yeah, like, is it annoying? Yes. Is it stupid? Yes. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. All those things, especially if you don't have like the right mask, and it adds more things to wash and all that other fun stuff too. So yes, it is definitely annoying. But since people are not doing the right thing,
mhm.
um, you know, that's why they're saying, hey, we need to get vaccinated. We need to do this. We need to do that. And I think that's why they're doing it, because it's so hard to enforce, and people they don't want to enforce it. Um,
Right.
and I mean, so
Hold on. So Gloria or Steve, did y'all want to come on here? Because I could shoot y'all the link. And matter of fact, anybody that's watching that's in the chat, if you want to come on here and actually like discuss, like actually talk, we can talk. Like I'll shoot you the link. I have no qualms, no issue with shooting people the link. Like we're live right now. I can shoot you the link and we can just chop it up. Like whoever, whenever, wherever. So just let me know. But yeah, like, did you ever like deal with people? Because there's a second part of this topic, obviously, like that are moving like the goalpost. Like first it was like, oh well, if it, what I'm saying, if it was, this type of effective, then I'll get it. Then it turned out it was like 90% effective or whatever. Then they were like, oh well, if so and so get it, like the main people. Also, I wanted to say this. This is the thought that I had when you were saying what you were saying earlier. The majority of the people that are pushing vaccine misinformation are actually vaccinated, which is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. They all have their shots.
Yeah. Well, I think it's for a couple of things. Like the main thing too is like, like you said, they're vaccinated, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also because now they're hearing the information of like, hey, people who are vaccinated, because they're more about their rights and everything, and they're upset that they have to do something. And that's why it's like, I don't know if it's sometimes they begrudgingly got the vaccine and they're upset about it too. And there's a bunch of different things, because I think the thing is no one likes being told what to do. That's just, we'll get that there.
Yeah.
So, and kind of like what I was saying earlier, now people, they felt like they were forced to do something that they didn't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So now because of that, there's like, oh, so they're mad, right? So they're mad about that. So now they're saying, oh, hey, guess what? People are still getting sick with the vaccine. We got the breakthrough cases, which seem to be on the rise. So they are upset about that too. But it's kind of like, we have to do our part. And there, for some people, they're like herd immunization, like, oh wait, that's not working. And there's a bunch of different stuff that just wasn't working, that everybody was waiting for. And then, like I said, and I think I said it before, people just want to be different. People want to be, because we're in a thing where people want to be different. And I mean, I could go and I'm trying to think. Okay, I'll take it into my role because it's my specialty. I'll take it into roller coaster land. There is a coaster called Steel Vengeance. It's known, it's universally praised as one of the best coasters in the world. A lot of enthusiasts say it's like the number one coaster. A lot of on the polls, like that's ranked. Like in the Golden Ticket Awards, which is like the biggest poll for roller coasters. It's ranked. It's always ranked top 5. It's like number 3 right now, right? So pretty much the diehard coaster enthusiasts are like, it's my number 1 coaster. Other people, they're like, hey, it's my number 3 coaster. It's the longest line in the park all the time. Blah blah blah. People write it and they're like, oh, it sucks, and you're like, okay, I can understand it's not your favorite because it's like, it's not my favorite coaster. I totally understand that, but to say that it sucks and it's like, and everybody else is wrong, and it's like, and sometimes it's like, no, like I can understand it not being your favorite coaster. I can understand, because the thing is, this coaster does like almost everything, but it doesn't do everything the best. So if you're someone who likes, hey, I want like an extreme first drop, right? This ride has a really good first drop, but it's not the best first drop. I like stuff with inversions. This ride has really good inversions, but it's not the best inversions. Oh, I want a ride that's long. Well, it's a long ride, but it's not the longest ride. And then it's like, oh, I want rides with airtime. So because I like to man on my seat, this ride has a lot of airtime, like the most airtime in the world. It's not the best airtime. But why people like it as number 1 coaster, because you get all that stuff and you put it together, and it's the only ride that does it. So it's a really good coaster. But people, they want to be different and be like, well, no, it's not even the best arm,
That's contrarian.
Yeah, and I think that's how it is with this vaccine information and with a bunch of different misinformation, because they want to be different. They want to be contrary. Because like I know someone about talking to him like about work, at work, about cameras, talking to him about cameras, about a system that they don't even use, and they're saying, oh, because I'm switching camera systems, because I've been thinking about it for a while. I'm finally freaking doing it because I got to test out some Sonys. And they're like, well, you could do this and this, like on the Nikon. I'm like, but the system's limited because of this. Well, like, well, you could go ahead and do that. And like, they're arguing with me because they want to be, well, a contrary. And I'm like, no, the Sony's a freaking cheat code. We all know it. Stop trying to say that it's not. I mean, and I can tell you everything I hate about the Sony. but
Yeah.
the results that it gets, it's what it is, what it is, and you can't say that they suck.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and that's what people are trying to say. It's like, oh, and just, oh, it's different and this, and I'm like, no, like there's a reason why they came to the game, and it's kind of, it's almost like kids, like we didn't grow up out of that mentality as in, hey, we need to one up somebody, or we need to do something different. And like that's what I feel like social media is, and that's where we get our misinformation from too. And now it's unfortunately, because of the mentality that we're in social media, it's not being accurate, it's being first.
Yeah.
And we see that with a lot of reviews online now, because it's like, oh, this came out, so instead of someone getting like the best video out, it's, I need to get it out first, so I need to get it out decent enough and first. So, and there's some stuff you could do to make it sound better. So if you have a setup already, you have the mic, you got the lights, you got everything, you got the recording software, you could throw out your video really fast and be first, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be the best. But unfortunately, on a lot of things, it's not about being the best. It's about being early. And I think that's where we're in. And then people, they get the information, they get it first, so they think it's the best, and that's what they hold on to.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because I even find it with putting out putting out videos and stuff like on here. Like I have to be like first, or within that first 24-hour window. My video needs to be there. Matter of fact, I need to be within the first 8 hours of that topic becoming a thing. Like
Yeah.
anytime I'm on the cutting edge of a topic, my video just goes. Why? Because nobody else is talking about it yet.
Yeah. No, and that's kind of like, unfortunately, that's how our news cycle is. Like it has to be first. And if it's not first, like it's almost sad. Like if it's not first, it's almost like it's like it almost doesn't matter. Which kind of sucks. And that's the thing, because once people see something, even though something else might come out after better or more informative, they don't care about it because they already saw it. Which is like, so, and you see that with like a lot of analysis and stuff like that too. I think the only people that get away with waiting stuff and making it better is Apple. Like other than that, it's like, if you're not first, like you're not, you're not there.
True.
Unfortunately.
Very, very true. Very, very true. Man, it just like, to me, it just like, oh, okay, I know the other thing. Like even with let's say the herd immunity thing, right? That you were talking about. Like we're not even there, like vaccination wise, to even get that. And a lot of people think like, oh, well, we should have herd immunity by now. No, we don't have enough. The vaccination rate isn't high enough. They told us what it needed to be. We're not there yet. We're barely over half of the United States. Like that's not enough to get herd immunity. And then, you know what I'm saying, like for the breakthrough cases that we are having, you literally have a situation where we've allowed this virus to now replicate itself several times, to the point where we didn't have a Delta variant, we didn't have everything in between Delta to Lambda. So we had all sorts of variants and a Lambda variant of 19. This is just of 19. Then we had a 20 and 21, and they didn't even get mentioned. We're on 22 right now, and everybody went, wait a minute, COVID 22. And the only reason everybody went, wait a minute, COVID 22 is because COVID 22 is like murdering people in the UK. Like people are getting offed like badly. Like it is literally like its survival rate is worse. Like they haven't came out with the official numbers, but the initial report said it is way worse.
I said we have to see what happens. I mean, hopefully all we can do is prep. I mean, we'll see how everything's going. I'm hoping, and it seems like too, like a lot of features that we put in public places are going away. But I think, unfortunately, on a lot of our gatherings, we were not built for social distancing, which is which is kind of like a shame. And then and that's the thing. And a lot of times, even though we moved restrictions away on a lot of things, we kind of went straight back into the old way of life, which is kind of unfortunate, because I'm glad to see that things are going back to normal. But like we're supposed to have this this new normal,
right?
And we never really got it. It was just, hey, this is what we're doing. Oh, things are open. Let's rush back. Let's rush back to that too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and unfortunately, I think the main thing, because a lot of it is just bottom line, unfortunately, because
Yeah.
people are like, hey, and because we shut down businesses depending on where you're at for 6 months to a year and a half. So we're trying to recoup that, and I can't say everybody's trying to recoup their money. And honestly, the quickest way to recoup money is, max occupancy.
Right.
So, and I put it down to my whole thing with, I think I was talking to, I forgot whose Facebook it was on. It was someone over at March. They were talking about McDonald's was hiring for $16 an hour. And then someone else was like, well, now they're going to raise the Big Mac to meal to $10. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, unfortunately, that's because we let them, because, there's nothing that says that they have to raise their prices, because there's other restaurants, fast food restaurants out there, like your Chick-fil-A, like your In-N-Out, like that have meals cheaper than what McDonald's does. But
Right.
they pay their workers better wages, and they have better benefits,
Yeah. And also with that, like, if as long as you just don't go, like literally don't go, they will drop the price down.
Yeah.
They're literally just trying to keep their profit margin the same.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Well,
don't
if
wanna
I even
lose
keep the
money.
profit margins, they always want to expand their profit margins, because we're in the era where if your CEO doesn't expand their profit margins, they're considered a failure and they get fired. Like, keeping your profit margin or keeping yourself in the black is not good enough anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, so that's why I have to go, how much is enough? And I mean, it's the same thing with housing. It's the same thing with everything, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody talks about, and that's like the myth about California. They're like, everything out here is so expensive because of taxes. I'm like, no, everything out here is because of, the golden inflation, because people are like, oh, just because it's in California, you have to pay more. And like that should not be the case. Because
Mm-hmm.
and that's the thing, is because sales tax is supposed to go, that's supposed to be your taxes, and on all these other taxes California magically has, we don't. It's because
Mm-hmm.
even if you look at the price of gas, take out all the tax to see the price of gas in Texas, see the price of gas in California, and even if you add California's tax to it too, there's still like $1 missing.
Yeah.
So there's no reason gas should be 50 cents more. It should be more than like $1 more in other places in California. And that's just because of what it is. And then even in the same state, because you're like, oh, we're in this neighborhood, so we're going to make you pay more. And it's like, what's the reason for that? It doesn't cost any more to go certain places.
It's
It's because,
$5 gas, bro.
well, I know, like, but like the biggest thing is Death Valley. It's like you go to Death Valley because they know, hey, if you drive out here, your vehicle probably can't make it back, so you need some gas. So we're gonna go and exploit that.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's what they do, and that's what these companies do, and that's pretty much what it is. Because even like where I'm at, and part of it's name brand, the gas station on my corner is $4.40. I go a block down the street and it's $3.95.
That's crazy.
So it's like a 50 cents markup for a block.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's the American way. And I know we were talking about that before about capitalism doesn't hurt or hinder the US. And it's like, yeah, and I say it's like, it's 75-25. Like, yeah, it helps because it pushes innovation, but then it keeps people that are on the top. It keeps them on the top because they're able to exploit things just to keep it going on. And that's the main reason why, no matter where I live next, like if I can, the next car I'm going to get is electric, because I don't want to go, because hopefully by then they were able to go ahead and they're able to increase everything. And increase the range, because I know Tesla's doing it like that. You could get one like it's like 280 miles, but I'm like, increase the range, increase everything, so we could get off of that too. And then hopefully that would help twofold. I'm not a slave to the big oil machine, and the other one is that it'll help drive the prices down, and more people, and more people go down. But I mean, like, it's just ridiculous, and other states do it too. It's not just California. I'm like, we have the issue in New York. You got Connecticut. Connecticut does it too, and it's
DC,
like
DC does it too. Like,
and it's just ridiculous,
Yeah. But yeah, unless you got something else to add, or unless anybody else has something else in the comments to add, That will be my time. That will be the vid. Thank you guys for watching. This is Homeroom with Smooth. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we're out.